I'm attorney Amy Schellekens with Sterk Family Law, and I'm here today with Evisha Ford from the iCan Dream Center. Evisha, what is the iCan Dream Center?
So, Amy, my 15 years experience in the space of working with young people with disabilities has told me that parents are afraid to dream for their students' futures. And so at iCan Dream Center, we fuel the dreams of students and their families by um, empowering them with the skills to thrive in the real world. So we build social and vocational competencies for young people through our therapeutic after school program. So we specialize in working with youngsters who are over 12, and we have a therapeutic school which supports students in completing high school credits when they are unsuccessful in traditional high school setting. And we also have a transition program. And so we're the second largest independent transition program in the state, not connected with a cooperative or public school system. And so we take a bunch of youngsters every year. We teach them how to adult. And we also provide counseling and ABA services and parent support groups. The other thing we do, which is really exciting, is that once a month we have what's called our Saturday experience. And so we invite young people who are 12 to 22 to come with us to do exciting things on the weekends, which are purely recreational. But it gives them an opportunity to try on some of those therapeutic skills that we may have been working on or they're working on in other settings, because you don't have to be enrolled at the iCan Dream Center to come to our Saturday experiences.
And during this crazy time of COVID-19, what services is the iCan Dream Center still offering?
So we're actually still offering all of our services except for the Saturday experience. Of course, they look different, but we're still teaching remotely and actually having a really great time doing it with our students. And we are in the process of planning our quarterly parent support group to do it virtually. And I suspect that we'll actually have more parents participate than we normally have at this time. And all of our behavioral health services. So Blue Cross Blue Shield has always offered the option for telehealth, and we've sort of grabbed hold of that for our students because we know that during this time it's really been a struggle with anxiety and just adjustment, which our youngsters struggle with quite a bit. And ABA and Blue Cross Blue Shield has approved ABA remotely at this time. So we've actually been able to continue all of our behavioral health services during this pandemic.
That's awesome. And you mentioned that you're doing some e-learning with the kids. Do you have any pointers for parents that are engaging in the e-learning process?
You know, it's really a learning process for all of us, that's for sure. I think what the students that we found successful in the moments of success that I've experienced as a parent have really come as a result of having a clear schedule for the students. It's so for your kids, and it's so easy to sort of slip into a take the day as it comes kind of mode. And I understand those days, but I think in general, we need to kind of keep a schedule for the students so that they have that structure imposed on them, especially for our students who have executive functioning difficulties already. They really need that structure. I think having a location in place where the students can work is going to be really critical so that they can sort of transition in their minds to the time of learning for the day. And preview the assignment. So as an organization, we have sent our parents a preview of the month and what they can expect. And it's individualized for the students, but for the most part, the parents have a good understanding about what the assignments and the things will look like. And it's really a courtesy so that they have the opportunity to sort of look over it and ask questions, and they do. And it's been really helpful, not only in ensuring that they understand what it is, but also in informing us in what ways we need to tweak or make adjustments for them. And I think you have to be honest with your teachers and direct service providers. I think about the first week that we started remote learning with my son, who is a kindergarten student. And I have a really great relationship with his teacher. And I told her, I said, we sat for almost 2 hours. It was a lot. And it was really difficult to hold his attention for that long. And so what I realized is that feedback allowed her to sort of make some adjustments. And I think that the reality is we're all learning that, and we have to just be honest with one another so that we can share our experiences and benefit everyone. Because my guess is that if I was feeling like that as a parent, there were other parents who were struggling to have their kids their 5-year-olds attend for 2 hours as well. So I think just being honest and having a location and previewing the assignments to make sure that you understand what is required having a set location and a schedule that the students can anticipate is going to be really critical in experiencing some success.
Do you have any pointers for parents specifically that are working and trying to manage some of those therapies with their kids at home?
The first thing I would say is be gracious to yourself. Be gracious. It is something that I don't think any of us could have ever understood what that would mean until we lived it for almost 2 months now. And I think that it caught me off guard just how difficult it can be to be at home working and also managing children. Again, back to the structure and the schedule, it's going to be critical to make sure that you have things in place. And so you'll have to do your own set of lesson plans at home, which allow you to switch tasks easily and to be able to do things that require quiet and to be able to provide activities that are engaging for the kids. So other than lesson planning alike at home, I would say within that plan for the day is making sure to balance activities that have some movement and activities that are more sedentary. So like we'll go from a Go Noodle video, and if you haven't seen Go Noodle, the young kids really love it. They really do. And I'm not getting
I'm familiar.
Yes, it's a lifesaver. So going between Go Noodle videos and then a Play-Doh activity, or taking a walk outside and coming back to do some coloring or craft. So just making sure that there's a plan of action for the day and enough activities that the students might be able to do independently. And I know that sometimes that's a bit of a struggle for our parents of students who have more severe disabilities, but I also have really taken advantage of a lot of the virtual read alouds and different programs that are available, the sing-alongs and read alouds, and the kids are really into it, and it allows you to let them have screen time that's educational and that is supporting them, and then you can maybe do a task that requires a little bit more of your sustained attention. I think that that's been really successful for me. But also proper sleep. Proper sleep for the kids, like that cannot be underestimated. And I have friends that tease about, oh, the kids are in bed at 8. Yeah, they are, because I know how many hours of sleep that they need, and I know how much time I need for myself to refuel. And I think that that is critical in understanding that. So proper sleep, the mix of physical and sedentary activity, making sure to get out every day for yourself, because what I've talked to so many people, and what's happened during this time is that the sort of work time is flowing right into personal time. And so we're working more hours. And so we have to be deliberate about setting alarms to get up from our seats and to take a walk and to take a break, so that, and we'll actually be more productive as a result of it. It sounds counterintuitive, but I think taking that break, taking a walk, getting outside when the weather permits, is really going to support our product long run. And proper nutrition. It's so tempting to sort of give the kids a sugary snack, but then realizing how that spikes their blood sugar and it makes them cranky and more hungry, and really the ripple effect that happens as a result of too many salty and sugary. The other thing that I would say that's really important, and I'm going to speak from the perspective of a behaviorist for a moment, is that we're always reinforcing behavior. And I think that while we want to be gracious to ourselves and cut ourselves some slack, we have to remember that the kids are internalizing what's happening. And so you're always reinforcing behavior, whether it's deliberate or not. And so if you are saying, hey, I need a quiet moment, and if you whine for a second, here's a sugary snack, you've set up the expectation that that's going to happen. When you need a quiet moment or when whining occurs, then the snack will follow. And so I just think just being a little bit mindful about what patterns that we're setting and unconscious expectations that we're setting up for the kids. So I think that that's going to be really helpful in thinking about how we transition out of this and for maintaining our sanity while we're in it. So.
Those are some amazing pointers for parents. And that actually brings me to the other question that we're getting is, how do we prepare our students to go back to school now?
Whew, I don't know. We've been on a very long summer break. So I think, and I'm still sorting through this myself, that it'll be much like summer, right? That when they go back I'm sorry, much like exiting summer break, that when they go back, they'll be really tired when they first start, those first weeks of getting back into the routine. Um, but I think keeping that routine, that regimen of what time they go to sleep, or maybe if you don't have one, starting to put that in place whenever we go back, when we get word that we'll be resuming our regular lives. I think that starting or fine tuning that sleep schedule and sort of activity during the day. What I found is that my youngest child, who'll be 4, was a napper, and so what's happened is that there's not enough activity during the day to really warrant a nap, and so I think that realizing those shifts and those changes and responding accordingly is going to be to our benefit as we get ready, and what things have changed as a result, maybe as a result of maturation of the child, or just them in a new stage of development in this time, or just as a result of the shifts of not having to get up and be in a physical school building each day.
Those are some great pointers. And I hear there's some really exciting things happening at the iCan Dream Center. Can you tell me what you guys have planned for the future?
Yes, we are relocating. We'll be relocating to Will County. We'll actually be on the board of Will County and Cook County, so that we can serve kiddos from both counties. And we have always had a focus on gaps in services. And so what I've noticed is that there's really a vacuum of programs for youngsters who are age 3 to 7. And so we'll be launching an early childhood program in our new complex next year in the fall, whenever we return. And we're excited about serving that population of kiddos. So during this time of pandemic, we have been planning and ordering and just getting ready to receive those students. We were actually approached by a few school districts and asked if we could start a program to support kiddos with autism, developmental disabilities, and some emotional struggles who are youngsters. And my guess is that at the end of this, we'll have students who really need some support to reacclimate to regular school life. So we're excited about being able to continue to fill gaps in the community and to support those kids.
Well, if parents have questions about the iCan Dream Center, how would they get a hold of you?
They can email us at info@icandreamcenter.com. Check us out on any of our social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. And we're always responding to those. We have a contact form on our website, which is www.icandreamcenter.com. So any of those ways they can reach out to us during this time, and we'll respond pretty quick to their questions.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Evisha. And if there's anything that I can help with in the legal component for any families out there with children with special needs, you can contact Sterk Family Law at 815-600-8950. We look forward to working with you.
Thanks, Amy.